Here is a text message we received last Friday while we were doing this program, while we were doing the Big Five at 9:05. Here's the note I got on it from a listener. My husband chose assisted dying, and it was quite heartwarming to see him go from excruciating pain to complete calm. That message came in as we were discussing the right to die, the right for assistance in dying in this country. Now, Canada has had assisted dying, medical assistance in dying for many years, but they're going to have to make some changes by next spring. Federal government will make changes that will allow those dealing with mental illness. It'll even allow those dealing with drug addiction to apply for medical assistance in dying. There's a lot of backlash over this, right? But you can sort of see where this came about. People went to court and they said, hey, if I can decide to end my life with assistance because of a physical terminal condition, I should also be able to end my life if I've got a mental illness that is, in my opinion, just as difficult. Supreme Court sided with that. There will be changes by next spring. So I want to invite the listener that sent us that text message onto the program. She's joining us on the line. Norma Cossman is a resident of Pierrefonds and watched her husband suffer from prostate cancer for 2 years before he decided that he wanted to use medical assistance in dying. Norma, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Hi, Elias.
First things first, thank you for reaching out to us, on subjects like this, for you to take the time to send us a text message to share your story. We saw it and we said we'd love to talk to you. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Well, thanks for letting me tell my story.
Norma, why don't you tell us about your husband? Tell our listeners about your husband.
Okay, well, he was a very active man. He was a very strong man. When I first met him, he actually made me promise that if ever he became really ill, that I would make sure he wasn't hooked up to any, in the hospital, hooked up to machines. Mm-hmm. And I made him that promise. He ended up, unfortunately, with prostate cancer. He was being seen by a urologist, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And finally, one day when, after 2 years, he was in so much pain, we had called 911. And on his way down to the ambulance, he asked me, please, let me sign a paper.
Wow.
And he had catheters, one in his bladder, through his belly, and 2 in each one of his kidneys in his back. He was in so much pain. He asked the oncologist and the urologist, is there anything you can do to fix me? And he was told no. So, as promised, when we got to the hospital, the oncologist was very sweet and had the paper waiting for him to sign. We had to go through several interviews. Not just myself and my husband, but the family. They wanted to make sure he was not being coerced into doing this, and he was doing it of his own free will. He chose the date, he chose the time, he chose the place, and he also chose who would be there with him. Mm-hmm. He was surrounded by the whole family who loved him very, very, very much. And he's in a better place now. He's not in pain anymore.
I'm getting emotional, Norma, listening to your story.
It was very very emotional. I'm coming to terms with it. It was very hard. It was very brave because he didn't want to suffer, but he also didn't want to see those around him suffer because it wasn't fair. It was not fair for people to have to live in such pain. It's the best. It did my heart good. And people said, well, weren't you very sad? And actually, I was sad, of course, because I'm selfish. But I was very happy for him because that's what he wanted.
And Norma, you would say the process the checks and balances, the double checking and talking to you and family members. Do you think the process guards against someone using this who shouldn't be using it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, they came and they interviewed us and they asked us what we thought about this, and they made sure that my husband was of sound mind and body to make a decision like this. And if he had not been so adamant about the fact that he just could not handle the pain anymore, I'm not sure if they would have said okay. Or if they felt that one of us was not okay, they may have questioned it.
Norma, when medical assistance in dying was legalized in this country, I think stories like your husband's are the ones that it was envisioned for. A terminal illness, terminal cancer, and pain, and nothing can be done for it. And now, though, as we look to 2024, there will be changes in this country that will allow medical assistance in dying, that more people can apply for it. Mental health issues, drug use issues, conceivably will be able to apply. Based on your experience, and of course with your husband with a physical ailment, having cancer, when you hear that medical assistance in dying could be expanded to people who are suffering pain, but other types of pain, mental anguish, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that people that are suffering from mental anguish, I'm not an expert and I'm not a doctor, but I personally think that if there's a way for them to get help so that mental anguish is fixed, I disagree. I totally disagree. If somebody has a drug problem, there's rehab. There are ways to fix it. I think that to do medically assisted dying is an easy way out. I personally think that they would have to be really, really, really in bad shape to do this. And I don't know who would be the best person to decide. I mean, if they have mental problems, are they capable of making a decision like that? You know, I don't know. Yeah. I tend to disagree with it.
And I think that's what a lot of people are going to be grappling with. Norma, looking back at your husband, how long has it been now since he chose the path of medically assisted dying?
He passed away on January 6, 2021.
January 6, 2021. So we're 2 years and a bit removed from that.
That's right.
As you look back on it now, what are your thoughts over 2 years later?
My thoughts are he's where he wanted to be. I miss him terribly. We had an absolutely amazing marriage. We were together for 29 years. And I miss him, but I don't blame him one bit for what he did.
Norma,
you know, I stood behind him 100%.
I can hear the love, Norma, in your voice. I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning. I really do appreciate you sharing your story.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
That is Norma Cossman, a resident of Pierrefonds. Her husband used medical assistance in dying in 2021.